I know what you're thinking. Why should I get off my tail? Well, I'll tell you why. Because your tail, your glutes, are the biggest muscles in your body. And by using them, you're actually going to create greater calorie burn and more efficient and effective workouts. Hi, I'm Laura, and welcome to Ljfit. Today, what I want to show you are some basic lower body exercises that work your glutes, your quads, your hamstrings, and your calves. We're going to look at squats, lunges, and deadlifts today. I want to teach you proper form so that you feel really comfortable doing these exercises by yourself, adding weight to the exercises, and then later videos, we're going to do some variations of those same exercises to make them more challenging, with the goal being that you're going to progress through your workouts. The purpose of today's video is not to take you through an entire workout, but to serve as more of a tutorial so that you can learn the proper form, really nail it, and then go and do it on your own. In future videos, we're going to add to those same movements so that you can progress through your workouts. You're not just going to be doing air squats. You're going to start picking up more weight, doing different types of squat variations and different reps. We're going to start with the basic squat, and instead of having you do it in the air, or what's called air squats, I'm going to have you start from a seated position. So that would be a bench or a chair that you feel comfortable sitting in. So you're going to sit down in that chair, you're going to roll your shoulders back, you're going to make sure your feet are at a comfortable distance apart, and you're going to think about putting weight in your heels so that when you go to stand, you can put that weight directly into your heels, not your toes, and stand up to the top. So you're going to sit back down, nice and slow, and then stand all the way to the top. As you stand to the top, keep those shoulders rolled back, your belly button pulled into your spine, and just keep it rhythmic as you're going down and coming back up. As you descend, try to go nice and slow and controlled and not plop back down in that chair or on that bench. And as you come to the top, try to accelerate a little bit so that you're thinking about power coming from your heels all the way through your hips to the top. After you've mastered the bench squat or the chair squat, go ahead and see if you can do that same exercise without any assistance. You're wanting to take that same stance. Your toes are at 10 and 2 o'clock. Your shoulders are rolled back. And now you're going to sit your weight into your heels. You're going to sit your hips equidistant between your knees and get as much depth as you can, and then come back up. So you're going to progressively get a little bit lower as you sit those hips and come to the top, all the while thinking your heels are plugged in, you should be able to wiggle your toes, and you're driving up from your heels up through your hips, squeezing your butt at the top. So get those reps. Continue to keep the shoulders back and eyes up, and squeeze at the top. Once you feel comfortable doing what we call an air squat, you can go ahead and add weights. I suggest that you add a dumbbell. You can use one dumbbell in the front, and you'll load it by putting both of your hands on the dumbbell, securing it, and then pushing it back, not to where it's rested on your chest, but almost like you've racked the weight up between your hands close to your chest. You're going to slowly descend with those shoulders rolled back, and then you press through once again without allowing your chest to knock down. After you feel comfortable squatting with that single dumbbell, you can take 2 dumbbells and squat. You want to continue to have your shoulders rolled back. You don't want to allow your arms to sway at all. They're just resting at your side, and then you're going to descend slowly and then push up and accelerate to the top without being too hard on your knees. You're not necessarily locking your knees out at the top. You're keeping them slightly soft at the top and then coming back down. A variation of the squat is a sumo squat. You would take one heavier dumbbell, hold it in the center, walk your feet out to about an angle of 9 to 3 o'clock, and then drop your hips in the center, all the while being careful not to let your knees turn in or out, keeping them in the direction of your toes. You should feel this on your inner thighs. The last variation is a single leg squat. These are definitely more challenging, and I would recommend you not do these with weights initially. Choose which leg you want to start with. Start from a seated position and slightly lift one knee higher than the other. Plug the one foot into the ground with your weight on your heel and press up to the top with your shoulders back. With the single leg squat, you want to be really careful to maintain your balance and not allow your butt to just plop back down on the bench. You want to really control it on the way down and then try to drive it straight up and hold that position. All right, our next exercise is a lunge. You want to start with your feet in a split stance. You want to pretend that there is a string attached from the ceiling to the top of your head that is allowing you to lower straight down and come straight back up rather than shifting your body forward and backward and forward and backward like that. You want to make sure that your weight is distributed in the front heel, and you want to allow that back leg to be the lowerer and the lifter. The front leg is the stabilizing leg. So you just want that knee to come down and come back up to the top. Try to make it nice and rhythmic, working on your balance as you do so. If balance is a problem for you, that's okay. You can do it beside the wall, hold on to the bench next to you, or it's great if you have something like a stability stick or someone to stand next to you, but you can hold on to something to help stabilize that movement. Once you've mastered the lunge, you can start picking up weights and doing that lunge. A stationary lunge is what we're doing. Get your shoulders rolled back, and just like with those squats, you do not want your arms to sway at all. They're right by your sides in a comfortable position. Don't let them rock you back and forth. You're going straight up and down. So once you've mastered the stationary lunge, you're going to take it into a back lunge. A back lunge is kind of like the next level of challenge. So you're going to step back with that single leg and come up to the top. You can alternate that movement, but once again, don't let those arms sway. Once you've mastered the back lunge, the next challenge is to do a forward lunge or a power lunge. That means you're stepping forward, allowing your body to absorb your weight in that front leg and then pressing through the heel of the front leg and pushing back to position. Once again, you can alternate that or keep it on one leg, finish off that set, and get another set on the other leg. A variation of the front lunge, the back lunge, and the stationary lunge is the side lunge. This is a lot trickier and quite a challenge, but it's great. So what you're going to do is step out to the side. You're going to keep your weight shifted into the heel of the leg that is bent, and you're going to push your hips back. You want to be careful as you do. The one leg stays straight, one leg is bent, and you're stacking your hips over your knee, over your foot. It should all be in line without your knees coming over your toes. You descend and then you come back up. You can touch back together and then come back out. So you're fighting gravity as you're descending and pushing back up with some explosiveness with that. When we do squats and lunges, we're using our glutes, our hamstrings, and our quads. But when we do our deadlifts, we're really focusing on those hamstrings and glutes. The deadlift is one of the hardest lower body exercises to learn. I remember learning it back in high school and how the coach was so patient with me as I had to practice over and over again my form. The first thing you want to start with is rolling your shoulders back, standing about shoulder width apart, tucking your belly button in, and you're going to allow your arms to just slide down the front of your body as you push your hips back. You're focused on not squatting. It shouldn't feel like a squat, but you're tipping from the hip and hinging your hips to where your butt is being pushed back. And then as you come up to the top, you're squeezing your glutes. So you're going to stretch those hamstrings out and then squeeze those glutes to the top. So practice without weights. And then once you feel comfortable with that movement, go ahead and pick up weights, roll those shoulders back again, and then as you're holding the weights, make sure that the weights are as close to your body as possible. Even imagine shaving your legs with those weights. Up and down, shoulders rolled back. Don't drop your head. Don't try to get more depth with your shoulders by allowing your shoulders to roll forward. Keep them pinned back, and all the lengthening should be happening because your hamstrings are allowing you to do it, not because you're stretching your back. Once you feel comfortable doing a deadlift with both dumbbells, you can try a single dumbbell deadlift right in the center. It's just distributing that weight a little bit different. And then one of the most difficult lower body exercises to do is the single leg deadlift. This is because it requires a lot of balance and it's isolating hamstrings and glutes on the one leg. You want to start with an object in front of your right leg. That object is just a focal point for you. And what you're doing is you're going to reach toward that object in front of you. Your left knee is soft and you're going to touch down on that object and then come back up and tap your toe. As you hinge from the hip and you're putting your weight on your left side, your right leg is coming back behind you and you're lifting it up and squeezing the glutes on that side. You're going to come down and back and down and back. To add a challenge, you're going to pull your knee through and squeeze your hips. To modify it, you can just come up onto your toe, and as you go down and back, you don't pick your leg up at all. Single leg deadlifts are excellent exercises that I want you to incorporate into your routine, because whether you're a young athlete or an aging adult, you will benefit from doing what's called balance training. You don't have to use a lot of weight. You don't have to use any weight at all, and you're still going to be challenged. So doing those single leg exercises are excellent to create better athleticism, agility, and to help with balance as we age. Once you have watched this video and you're ready to do your own workout, I want you to do one of two options. Do the exercises 10 to 15 reps, 3 sets, and then move on to the next exercise until you've done all of the exercises. Or you can work on the clock. You can do 40 seconds of continuous repetitions and give yourself a 20-second rest at the end. And just run through the workout just like that. Whatever is going to challenge you the most. So there you have it. You have the tools that you need to get those lower body exercises in and get off your tail. Now, go try it. I hope this video helps you out to progress in your fitness journey. If you're interested in more content like this, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon below. I know this is our first video and I wanted to make sure that we covered some fundamentals with the lower body. My desire is to bring you full workouts with some episodes and tutorials on others. But for now, stay tuned for more interesting content on this channel. All right, that's it for now, y'all. As I always say, do the best you can with what you have. See you later.